But anyway, Mason, Variety has an article.
Oh, yes.
It's called
a Varietical.
I agree. It's called Superhero Burnout. With most superhero movies flopping, can Marvel and DC's 2025 slates reverse an unprecedented box office drought? God, that headline.
I know.
So catchy.
And so timely.
It is, isn't it?
Variety finally jumping on the superhero bandwagon, superhero burnout bandwagon.
Absolutely they are.
Good
so
on
they were talking about how, look, there's been a slew of superhero flops this year, including Joker 2 recently, including Venom 3, which again is performing better than initially thought, but still bad. Madam Web, obviously. But I guess what this article, talks about it a little bit, but those are bad.
Sure.
Bad or people don't like them.
Right.
But mostly bad. It's just looking at them. Because if you look at like the recent ones that have done well, we've talked about this all the time. Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Deadpool and Wolverine was really well received. Joker 2, good movie. All of these movies are said to be good and have made a lot of money. So I think, again, I feel like we come back to this a lot, but it's just good movies.
Just good movies.
It's just good movies.
It's just good movies.
Just make good movies. Sometimes good movies don't make a lot of money, but most of the time they do all right. So they're talking about the lineup for next year of superhero movies and what that's going to look like. We've got Captain America. There's a bird in his Captain America.
Sure.
They've got Thunderbolts Asterix. They've got the Fantastic Four First Steps. Maybe now changing to First Contact, maybe, or something.
According to whom, James?
I don't know. I saw that rumor. I don't know who said it, but somebody said it.
Okay. Why would they do that?
I don't know. Does it matter? Do you think anybody's locked into that first title? Are you married to it, are you?
I mean, I'm a little
You should
bit.
get it annulled. Mason, you can change it. You can call it whatever. You can call it Fantastic Four again. Fantastic Four, you know.
Yeah, sure. So just the end, but you can't change any other bits.
No.
Hamtastic Four?
That's pretty good, actually.
Right.
Okay, Hamtastic Four, you know. Are we good?
That's good, finally, yes.
Great, good. Good and great. Also, the DC movies kick off, obviously. Superman's coming out in July.
I'd consider this, because they changed it. It used to be Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
Hamtastic Superman.
That's good, actually.
Right?
You know. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is going in productions. Lanterns. I don't think Lanterns will be out next year, but
surely not.
That'll be ramping up. I just think, look, they have to be good, and I think these companies need to recognize that these are all not billion-dollar movies.
Okay, but consider this: they won't acknowledge that,
but they should.
But they can't.
They need to slow.
Their stockholders will not allow that. You'll be kicked out a window.
Can't you explain stuff to people and be like, "This is a growth period where we're rebuilding from the ground up"?
Well, I mean, I suspect that is what James Gunn is doing.
It's like cutting and bulking in professional weightlifting, Mason.
Okay, all right.
You know?
Sure.
You got to put in the work, build the foundation.
I'm sure you do, but it's not a stockholders meeting of bodybuilders, is it?
Yeah, you're right. What's a metaphor that they could understand with their tiny little brains, with their tiny little snake brains that only want money?
You could say, imagine you're a bunch of vultures and you've picked one corpse clean in the desert. You got to wait for another one to slowly, dehydrate and die on the side of a highway, and then you can pick that corpse clean.
Yeah,
that's a rebuilding year.
You can't just be picking at the same corpse, is what you're saying.
No, that's so true. Yeah,
that's a pretty good metaphor, actually.
I think so. Yeah.
So imagine all of you are vultures. That's a good way to look at that, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw this. I'm sure I can't find it now. But
I'm sure you could.
Here
he goes. He's going to find it.
One of the CEOs, I think, of maybe OpenAI or something like that was like, imagine in the future, there's going to be, thanks to AI, there's going to be 20 times more content than there is now.
I don't know. That's too much. I don't want that now.
The problem
now.
The problem now isn't that there's only 5% of the content that we need and crave. It's that there's so much garbage already.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we've talked about this. Like, this is our job. And we don't watch everything.
No.
We don't even get close to watching everything.
Okay, here we go. Stability AI.
I knew you could do it.
Yeah, I found it.
This is why you're my good friend.
Thank you. I went into my Gmail and I searched for AI.
Wow.
I found it. Stability AI CEO Prem Akaraju says in 10 years, most film and TV will be generated rather than rendered, and there'll be 20 times as much content to watch. And isn't that beautiful?
I fucking hate that. I hate everything you've said. What do they mean? Like from go to woe? Like the entire thing?
I think so, yeah. I mean, but also this is meaningless. He's just saying.
It's not true.
He's just saying a thing to get more people to give him money.
Yeah.
But it'll be, I guess the thing there is you go, I like superheroes, and then it just generates your superhero TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you see somebody was like, we built an AI, we built a new game. It's Minecraft, but it's generative AI. And it's just like, yeah, you built it off Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because there's millions of hours of Minecraft videos on the internet. You just fed that all in.
And it did it.
But not well.
No, of course it didn't.
Like as soon as you turn, like everything disappears. There's no object permanence in it.
Now,
Anyway.
I don't play a lot of Minecraft, but when you turn, does everything disappear?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the movie?
I mean, we don't know yet. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the movie, if you turned around, you'd see like more cinema seats.
Yeah.
Unless you're right at the back.
They're looking. Oh, I thought you meant like in the movie, if the person in the movie turns around, they can see us in the cinema.
I mean, potentially.
The
With AI, the possibilities are limitless.
God.
So I think that's wonderful.
That's a good thing to pitch some stock people.
I think so too.
What if a movie could see you? What? It's the future. It's 10 years from now.
Right?
And a movie's looking at you.
Yeah.
Great. All good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, again, you're probably right, but this is there needs to be a slow ramp up to something again.
Yeah.
It's cutting and bulking. It's corpses and vultures.
It's corpses and vultures. Thank you.
All right.
You want a big, fat, juicy corpse to collapse.
Forbes, Mason. Ant-Man.
Oh, it's Forbes time.
Ant-Man.
It's Forbin time?
It is Forbin time. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania actually made a profit, actually.
Oh, yeah?
That's their headline.
I'm so happy for them.
Me too. So it only grossed $476 million, according to Box Office Mojo.
Well, it's a big chunk of change.
And when you take into account that studios...
When I cake into account.
Yeah, oh yeah. So you saying...
Did
you say cake?
Yeah.
All right. Studios typically receive about 50% of the takings, meaning Disney made about $238 million, which was $92 million less than they spent to make the movie. However, it ended up making $88,000 because the UK government reimbursed them as $58.2 million.
Nice.
So the British taxpayer
foot the bill
has saved this movie.
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Thank you so much for your service.
God save the king, I say.
Do you think he did it?
Yeah, probably.
He signed it with a fancy pen through
Well,
gritted teeth?
in the UK, if you die and you don't have a will, he gets all your stuff. Did you know that?
That's fair.
Yeah, and so he probably used that money to save Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. It's probably been his dream for a long time, you know?
I reckon it was.
You know? And if his dear old mum was still with us, she would have done the same. I think.
She died. Didn't she?
Yep.
Mason? Tarantino is saying things.
Well, no, but before we move on from that,
You don't think she died?
maybe. Door's still open, I'm saying.
Okay.
You know, I'm saying...
To hell.
Why is that information coming to light now?
I don't know.
Why does anybody
I
need to know that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania made a small profit?
Do you think it's a boardroom thing?
I think maybe probably one of these kind of rumor mill insiders probably just saw a balance sheet and it was just like water cooler talk, and they were like, "Can you believe this?" And they're like, "Well, this is a thing."
WC talk.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man, I hear you.
Yeah.
Water closet talk.
Yeah, no, I know.
Toilets, Mason. Toilets in Europe.
Yep.
They call them it's how they're labelled for people who don't know.
Yeah.
This is for Americans.
I understand.
And Australians. They don't fucking know. Mason.
We call it Dunny talk.
We do. We call it Big D talk.